I've actually got this kind of like mystery box here full of ingredients and leftovers from the school fridges. And the guys have challenged me to come up with some dishes for you guys to show you how easy it is to use leftovers in our type of cooking. Let's go to the kitchen. So for this Saturday special, we're still on leftover food. And again, the guys have hidden what's in this tray. I've got a tray of ingredients. I have no idea what's underneath. It is our surplus food special. And what have we got this week? Ooh, interesting. Some Siu Mai. Is that right?
Yeah.
Can't be anything else. Right, we've got some shiitake mushrooms. They seem to be dried shiitake soaked in hot water overnight. Some minced pork, probably left over from one of the classes yesterday. A little bit of egg, just to help bind. Some corn flour, some salt, sugar, pepper, sesame oil. Really, really simple dumpling to make. I'm going to show you from scratch. First things first, your meat can go into a slightly bigger bowl, and then we've got your shiitake mushrooms. Everything for Siu Mai needs to be finely diced or finely chopped. Now, I guess having Siu Mai pastries left over is not something that everyone would necessarily have, but obviously in the cookery school we do a lot of dim sum classes and things like that. And it's quite difficult to know exactly how many pastries we might need for a class of 10 people. If you've ever got sort of dumpling pastries left over, don't throw them away. Just keep making them, because you can then freeze your dumplings once they're made and then cook them from frozen. And that's the beauty of any type of dumpling. The other thing that's great about Chinese cooking is that we tend to have a lot of pantry ingredients, where there's sauces or dried mushrooms, or, you know, there's hundreds of different types of dried mushroom you can get in a Chinese supermarket. And what that does is it creates the sort of base flavors from dry food, and therefore it sort of helps to make up a quick meal with leftover bits of meat or other ingredients. So I'm going to start to season this now, very, very simply. Some salt. With Siu Mai, you do need to season it quite heavily, especially if it's minced pork. So salt and pepper, a pinch of sugar, and then a good amount of sesame oil. Corn flour is there to help bind, along with a bit of egg white. So we're going to really start to massage all that flavour in. And if you had extra bits of veg that you needed to use up as well, then by all means just finely chop it up and throw it into something like this. The thing about pork mince is it can be a little bit sort of gritty if you don't deal with it the right way. So first off, you want to massage all that flavour in well, and then we're going to start to sort of beat this. So you just cup your hand, your fingers together, not apart. Pick up your meat and then flick it back into the bowl. And what you're trying to do is sort of knock all the air out of the meat and create this sort of smooth patty. I'm going to do this 10 to 15 times. And try not to hit the camera, guys. Lee would not be happy if I threw a bit of meat in his face. So you keep going with this, and obviously I'm making dumplings with this, but actually if you wanted to use this same technique to make Western burgers or kofta kebabs and things like that, it works an absolute treat. It's so good at knocking all the air out and creating a nice, smooth sort of texture, whilst at the same time keeping all the meat together. Now, my dim sum teacher, when I was learning, used to say, if she can't hear the knock-in from next door, then you're not throwing it hard enough. So you've got one smooth patty, knocked all the air out, and that means that when I bite into each dumpling, it's going to have a nice smooth finish. So Siu Mai pastries are like 1-ton pastries, just round. So it's essentially like a bit of egg pasta. And what we do is we take your meat and spread it like a bit of pate on toast right to the edges. Get it to the edges of the pastry. You do need enough filling inside to be able to sort of hold on to it. And then we just sort of use both hands to start to shape it and put it into what I say the A-OK sign, right? Once you've got your OK sign, then your other fingers sit in a nice uniform shape in what I call the beating egg cup. Right, so what you do is you place your dumpling flush to your circle that forms from your index finger and thumb. And then my beating egg cup starts to work, and it just twists and squeezes, twist and squeeze, twist and squeeze. And every time it twists around, you squeeze a little bit more. At the same time, you use the base of your spoon and push that meat filling into the dumpling. Twist, squeeze, and push, twist, squeeze, and push, twist, squeeze, and push. It kind of is one of those skills that when you know how to do it, it looks easy, but it's very easy to make a siu mai wrong. And I'm going to point out the ways that you could sort of try and avoid these mistakes. The first thing is, it's got to be a uniform squeeze. So when you're squeezing and it's not uniform, and if you squeeze too hard with your index finger and thumb, like this, then you'll get a pear-shaped siu mai, and it'll just topple over. But if you squeeze too much, let's say, with your middle finger and thumb, then you'll get an hourglass-shaped siu mai, which will also topple over. The last one is if you squeeze too much with your fourth and fifth finger, then you're pretty much guaranteed to get the leaning tower siu mai. So, in essence, what I'm trying to say is if you don't make it perfectly, then it's not good enough. So, the water's boiling away. My siu mai are made 6 to 8 minutes direct on the steam, depending on the size. Mine aren't too big, so I'm going to go for about 6 minutes. Who are you, Eric Clapton? Who does he think he is? So, the siu mai have had their 6 minutes. Nice, quick cooking time. So they're propped up nicely. Doesn't take long to cook. As I say, if you had, you know, a bit leftover carrot or any other sort of fresh mushrooms, anything you wanted to really use up, you can just pop them into the same mix. Got a little bit of light soy and black vinegar here. Really tasty. It's a nice, unique way of using up your leftovers. And as I said, you can freeze them once they've been made and then cook them from frozen. Just add an extra minute or two if you're cooking them from frozen. If you like this type of recipe, you want to learn more about Asian cooking, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.